Almighty.
We are live.
We are live. Oh, that feels like so like Joe Rogan-y.
It does, doesn't it? Yeah. Well, it's
mean,
our first podcast, so
young Jamie.
there you go. Who am I then? I'm the old Joe Rogan.
Brown Joe Rogan.
Brown Joe Rogan.
Brown Joe
Okay,
Rogan.
I'm Sanjay
Tanned.
Rogan. Yeah,
Sanjay Rogan.
exactly.
Cool.
Sanjay Rogan coming to you live. Exactly.
From Harrow. From
Harrow,
actually, should we not tell people the
If
location?
I'm going to become famous, we need to obviously disclose
keep
information
it
on.
low key.
Yeah, you never
We're
know
in,
exactly.
Houston.
We're in Saudi Arabia.
That's where we are.
Yeah.
So we got the mics. We got the cameras. Multiple cameras.
Yep.
We got lights. What's happening?
Well, essentially, obviously, first of all, yeah, thank you for obviously letting me use your gym and just moving all the equipment everywhere and setting up 2 mics. I not even telling you what we're doing. But long story short is I am looking to help people out there in any shape or form I can, because I firmly believe what I've done in the past with friends and family has allowed me to basically kind of spot a gift, if I may say so, basically a gift of myself. And that's basically having the ability to help people in my own way. And what that means for me now in this current state is I want to become a life coach, or essentially I am now a life coach.
Okay.
And I want everyone out there to basically to know that, and whoever's watching that, watching this video, basically I want them to basically know that they're not talking to their friend or somebody that they know from sports or from gym or from work or wherever it may be. What they're watching now is somebody who is aspiring to be a life coach and is willing to help people in any way that they need help.
Okay. So what kind of does that mean? So if I might be stressed at work, or is that the type of thing people can contact you about? What does life coach mean to you?
A life coach for me it can mean anything. And if we flip it and think about whoever's watching this, it can mean anything for them as well. So essentially, basically, whatever you're going through in life, and it doesn't have to be negative as well. I think that's the most important thing to bear in mind. It does not have to be negative at all. Whatever challenge you're going through, whether it's a fitness challenge, a career challenge, a relationship challenge, mental health, family problems, friendship problems, anything that basically you want to become better at, or anything you want to take you to another stage, I believe that I have the capabilities and the ability to help in that sort of topic. So for example, if it was fitness, that's quite easy because people know me from the fitness background, but essentially it would mean going for a run with somebody, or allowing somebody to basically use my gym and I can train them. I do have a level 2 gym instructor qualification. But if it came to a career decision or a career challenge, it'll be sitting down with them, mapping out their career plan, mapping out where they want to go, or how they want to change their career. And from a family problem, it's using a bit more emotion as well. Having a one-to-one with them, understanding what exactly they're going through, and using my experiences of what I've gone through in life to help them to avoid the mistakes that I may have made. And it's essentially that's the main purpose of why I want to do this, really.
Do you feel like 2020 has kind of made you think that this is the right time to kind of step into that life coach role? There's been maybe like a tough year for everyone.
For me, it wasn't much about 2020, to be honest. It was more about timing. And I believe everything, I believe there's a destiny to everything, to be honest. You have fate, you have destiny, and you have a certain time when you know you're supposed to do something. And the reason why I want to do this right now is purely because in this moment of time, this is exactly what I want to do. I've gone through certain experiences in my life. I've gone through certain challenges in my life, professionally, personally, fitness-wise, mental health-wise, etc. That has allowed me to basically come to this point and to make a decision where I think it's now time for me to basically jump back on social media and basically get the word out there that I want to help as many people as I possibly can, and whatever they're going through, basically that's what they want to do. In terms of answering a question about 2020, I guess it's just a coincidence, the fact that we are going through what we're going through, but I have my own thoughts on that as well. And yes, to some people out there, basically it may look like I could be jumping on a bandwagon and I might be taking advantage of a certain situation. Absolutely fine, if that's what you think, then no problem. But from my perspective, it was personally down to my own personal timings and having that intuition myself that I felt like this is the right thing for me to do right now.
Cool. What do you think you bring like different to the table? Obviously, like there's so many pages out there. There's a lot of like motivational quotes that you read. There's books out there. What do you feel like you bring to the table that's different? Why does anyone want to come and spend a day, a week with you? Or
Good question. And I don't blame anybody who's watching this video asking themselves that same question as well. From my perspective, when I was looking at Instagram, Facebook, and even a bit of YouTube, and I was trying to understand basically what the current motivational speakers and the current life coaches are doing out there, it felt very plastic, if I may say so, basically. So it just felt like it was very safe, and they were kind of jumping on the back of well-known quotes, well-known books, and just posting on Instagram and trying to get as many likes. My angle is using my own experiences and being as raw as I can be. And that's the reason why we're doing it in this setting. That's the reason why we have gym equipment in the background. That's the reason why we're in somebody else's gym, because I don't want to have a kind of a studio back set and make it look all professional just for the sake of obviously trying to look as legit as I can be. My angle essentially is the fact that people who know me know the fact that I've always been honest, and I am never shy of using my own experiences to give somebody advice. I'm an open book, and the people who are close to me, they know the fair share of challenges that I have gone through, and the way I'm gonna try and help people is basically opening up myself to encourage them to open up as well. I believe it's a two-way thing. So as long as basically I can tell them this is what I've gone through, this is what I've learned from it, that's my life coach angle. Is showing them my past and showing them where I am currently, to show them that wherever they may are at the moment, it's okay. That's where they are currently, but the future has not been set out just yet, and the entire life is in their own hands. And if they can avoid my mistakes, hopefully, obviously, they can obviously progress and become a better version of me, if I may say so.
Cool. And how do you feel about the whole like gym thing? Like, obviously, we all know the benefits of exercising. Is that something that's like really big in terms of what you want to provide to people? Is it something you think would benefit everyone regardless of how much they've done themselves? Is how big of a part is it? Because obviously it's big for us. For other people, they might have not experienced it. They might jump on exercising thanks to like you bringing them on board, and it might be like a huge thing for them. It might be super beneficial for them in terms of like their morale as well, and self-confidence. Is that something that you want to kind of put on people as well, or does it depend on what kind of they want?
Well, if anybody basically asks me how I've got to where I've got to, I would always put it down to the gym being the core of my entire life. It's what I've used as an anchor. I know that's a bit of a generic term, but it's true. And it's always been my go-to. It's always been my main foundation of my entire being. Every single day, it either starts or ends with a workout, and some sort of workout, whether it's a walk, a run, a hardcore gym session, weights, going for a long distance run, whatever it may be, playing some football. And if somebody were to ask me basically, what's the first thing they could do in any area of their life just to make it feel better, then yes, I would of course tell them, if you don't already, get out there, try go for a run, try go for a walk, hit the weights if you possibly can. And if that's not for you, then no problem. I'm definitely not gonna try put it on people and try to obviously really use that in an intense way. I say, where just because I work out, you have to work out as well. Nothing like that as well. But from my perspective, the people out there know that I used to smoke, I used to drink, and I used to get into all sorts of troubles. The gym is where I found my happy place. The gym for me is my home, and I still use the same gym to this day, basically. And even the 2 years I've kind of been off Instagram, it's been the same routine day in, day out. And for me, that just keeps me sane. For me, basically, it allows me to process my thoughts and think about what type of person I want to be. It gives me a chance of having that self-reflection. But for somebody else out there, that might not be that for them. It might, their own recipe for success might be something else. But I definitely won't use my life coaching tactics as you must run, you must do fitness. If they want to, then great. And what I really want to do, obviously, is just not give anybody any answers, because that's not what I'm supposed to do. It's essentially guiding them to where to look for the answers. So if fitness helps them to understand where they want to get to, then great. It might be a book, it might just be having a one-to-one with me, it might be having several conversations with me. It doesn't matter, as long as basically they feel comfortable in whatever we're doing together.
Talking about being comfortable, how do you, if someone's maybe scared to reach out, because obviously that's a huge thing. Sometimes we kind of want to drown away the fact that we're going through things and we don't really want to talk to anyone about it. How do I reach out to you? What's the best way, kind of? Yeah.
Well, in terms of reaching out, I know from my own experience that when you're going through something, the most difficult thing to do is to speak to somebody. You know that, I know that from personal troubles, of course. And it's the hardest thing to do, to be honest, because you really feel like you're in a black hole and you can't do anything. You don't know who to speak to. And even if somebody spots something wrong with you or spots something indifferent with you, you don't know what to say. You don't know how to get those words out. You don't know how to basically correlate the information that's going through in your own mind and make it so that you don't sound completely crazy. That's the reason for the podcast. it may seem a bit strange. It might seem a bit indifferent, you know, seeing me in this sort of settings. But the best way for people to feel comfortable with me without knowing me is to see me in action, if I may say so. So allowing me to basically see me in a video where I'm talking like this to somebody else, they can understand and they can answer a couple of key questions about the situation. Can they get along with me? Can they imagine opening up to me? And can they imagine seeing me as a person who can guide them in the right direction? If the answer is yes to all those questions, then absolutely get in touch. And the way to get in touch is, of course, direct message me on Instagram. I'll have a business email as well. I'll have a business phone number as well. So this is all done in a professional fashion. I have a company name out there. I've trademarked it. I'll be operating as a proper company, and this isn't something I'm just going on Instagram just to get followers for. It's something I'm looking to do as a proper service. Of course, there's no denying there's going to be a cost attached to it, but that's up to me to talk to everyone on a one-to-one basis and allow them to basically understand the cost, but what they get for that as well. And there will be a small cost as well. I have no problem even laying out the cost right now, basically, if we needed to, if that would help for the podcast to understand basically what people will be getting for, you know, in terms of the money that they would be putting in. But to answer your original question, basically, absolutely, it must be difficult, anybody out there going through whatever they're going through, to reach out. And I really hope this podcast allows them to see basically that there's a guy out there who is openly speaking about his troubles, who's openly basically being honest about his own life troubles, and he's willing to put himself out there just to help others. And that's what I really want people to take away from this podcast.
You mentioned the podcast. Is that, what kind of plans do you have for it? Do you want to bring different guests along to talk about different subjects? You know, the whole Joe Rogan thing where you got like a different guest each week.
Yeah.
Or what's the plan?
If my plan basically is to help in any sort of way I can. So it all comes down to purpose. And I know obviously I'm kind of digressing at the moment, but I'll answer obviously your question in a minute. But for me, basically, is aside from trying to make a living out of this, my main purpose right now is to help people. And I firmly believe basically the fact that you find true happiness when you find your purpose. And in this instance, it's for me, it's giving back to the people I can in my own way. So in terms of basically helping people, yes, podcast will be one of the ways to do it. And the way I'm going to be doing it is, what I don't want to do obviously do is just throw content and shove it down people's throats, because I don't think that's the right way for people to understand what I'm trying to do. But on a similar regular basis, if that's even a correct terminology, basically, what they should be seeing is different types of content. So they'll see me basically out there in situ. What that basically means, I'm out there running, working out, creating videos for myself, sharing a few life thoughts, etc., etc. But at the same time, absolutely, the plan basically is throughout the year, drip feeding those podcasts into my Instagram feed and my YouTube feed as much as I can. And the way I'm going to do that is basically bringing like-minded individuals into this arena. And that could be somebody I've supposedly helped. It could just be like-minded friends I have, and we can have an open conversation about basically what we're all going through, how we've overcome it. So essentially, it goes back to what I've said about 5-6 minutes ago. Essentially, whoever's watching it feels like, damn, there's people out there, guys and girls, who have gone through similar stuff that I'm going through, and they, excuse my language, but they're fucking talking about it on a podcast. And if they can do that, I'm going to reach out to these guys and see if I can become a better person. Because honestly, if you're going through something, don't waste time. Do not waste time. Time is the only thing that you have less of every second that goes by. That's the only fact. Money you can get back, friends you can get back, jobs you can get back, but you can't get back time. If you are sat at home right now, or if you're in the office, or if you're in an unhealthy relationship, or if you're unfit and you're just not happy with the way you are, reach out. Honestly, reach out, because what's there to lose? What's there to lose? Sorry, it's a win-win situation. You're only going to get information that you either need or you're either going to throw away by reaching out to the likes of me. Especially in the beginning, where it will be free sessions, and that's one thing I think that's really important for people out there to understand. In the beginning, the first 2 to 3 sessions that they have with me are going to be completely free, and that's purely because there should be a chemistry test, and the person should be able to assess whether they want to work with me or not. So there's nothing to lose for anybody out there who's looking at this and thinking basically, you know, I should reach out if I'm going through something. So yes, a podcast will be a core thing of my entire sort of content strategy.
In terms of like having that calling, obviously you're successful in what you do, like promotion after promotion. You can easily get a job, even in COVID times.
Thank you.
What's made you realize that, you know what, yeah, I'm great at what I do and I enjoy it, but I feel like this is my calling?
Oh, a bit of a tough question to be honest, but it comes down to happiness, to be honest. And my personal belief is everyone out there, regardless of wherever you are at the moment, even if you're in jail, even if basically you're homeless, everyone out there has a gift, and I firmly believe that. The difference is knowing your gift and then doing something about it. My first enlightenment was basically understanding what is my gift, and my gift is the fact that I want to help people. Not that I can help people, but I want to do it. That's my gift. The fact that I have something inside me that basically is telling me right now to launch a business, to arrange a podcast, and to do this completely raw, just so I can help people. That's my gift. The second phase is doing something about it. So basically it is jumping on a podcast and putting myself out there and trying to get as many people as I can to reach out as well. So in terms of why I'm doing this, basically, is purely because of happiness. And the key to life basically is being happy without reason. That's my honest belief basically. If you can get out of bed and just be happy without any reason at all, even whether you have a job or not, whether you have money or not, whether you're in a relationship or not, you are happy. That's the key basically, when somebody has no real answer to where they are, but they're at peace. And the reason why I wanted to go down this road, is the fact that it brings me genuine happiness. And the other layer of happiness, of course, is joy. It just brings me genuine, raw, passionate joy basically. And that's just something that you can't ignore. And once you latch onto it, you have to explore it and see where it goes. And that's exactly the reason why I'm doing this at the moment. I've always been the type of person who trusts and motivate people. And for anybody out there basically who know me quite well, I used to be on Instagram before, and I was always trying to, aside from making funny videos, I was always trying to motivate people in any sort of shape or form I can. But I didn't realize it then basically, the fact that that's what I really wanted to do. When you're in the mix of life basically, and you see certain temptations, whether it's money, financial benefits, or even just living up to society, you think what you're doing is what you should be doing for the rest of your life. But what you don't realize is the fact that the worst thing you can do is live towards other expectations. Unhappiness or negativity or depression sometimes comes from trying to meet other people's expectations. When you stop doing that, you get a euphoria feeling because you start grabbing control of your own life in your own hands, and your life is in your hands basically. It's not in nobody else's hands. It's up to you basically what you are going to do with every single day. And the more you think about something, the more you draw it to you. And that's just facts. It's I don't know, it's quantum physics if you want to call it basically, but it's scientifically proven the fact that if you think in a certain way, then good things will come to you. And I firmly believe that. However, it starts from a subconscious level. And if you've got deep thoughts in your mind about I'm not happy about my job, or I'm not happy in this relationship, or I'm not happy the way I am, you can put on the face you want every single day. You can walk into the office and be happy, but that's not genuine happiness. And for me, basically, yes, every single day, if somebody saw me, on the road or going for a run, etc., yeah, I'll be happy as Larry. But inside, I knew that basically I wasn't truly happy until I started thinking about this sort of thing that I wanted to do, basically. And that's when that extra 10% really came out of me.
In terms of we've talked about obviously the gym. That's one of your foundations in terms of what's helped you. What are some of the other things that you kind of feel have given you the skills to be able to talk to someone or help someone in a situation where they might need the help?
It's funny you say that because the one thing I'm trying to do with my niece at the moment is give her these core life lessons that she can always remember the older she grows. And every now and again, I test her on this, and she walks up into my room, and but I basically ask her, what are the keys to life? And then I say, what's the third key to life? What's the fourth key to life? And the first two that I always stand by are running and reading. Those are my main two keys for life. The reason being is basically when you're running and you're running and you're running, you want to stop, but you keep going on because you need to obviously reach home, or you need to reach the finish line, or you need to do it in a certain time. Life works in the exact same way. Sometimes you do feel like stopping. Sometimes you feel like just going under the duvet, crawling up basically, and just never coming out of the bed again basically, because sometimes life can throw that type of shit at you where you just don't know what to do with it. Running basically gives you that same sort of stress, but in that specific moment, and you feel like stopping, but you have to carry on. And out of pride, you don't stop. No matter how slow you're going, you carry on going. That's the main thing. It's not about The fact that whether you can get it done the quickest, it's about you just get there in your own time basically, and running teaches me that. The second thing is reading basically, and I firmly believe if you're going through something and you don't want to listen to me and you don't want to pay for my service and you don't want to like my Instagram post or videos, whatever you want to call it, no problem, because end of the day my main aim is for you to be happy. So if you don't use me because it doesn't make you happy, no problem. I'll tell you what you can do instead. Pick up a book, because everything that you're going through in your life right now, somebody out there in human history has written the answer in a book somewhere. So if you basically are in an unhealthy relationship, buy a book on unhealthy relationships. If you basically don't know how to sort of leave your job or try a different career, buy a book on basically different career paths. Buy a book on whatever you want to get into. A book is out there for every single problem you've gone through. There's been too many people before us, and too many humans that have lived before us as well, who have had bigger challenges than us, whether it's war or depression or a recession or whatever maybe basically, and they have written all their problems and answers down in a book. So run and read, people.
Cool. I don't know how long we've been going now.
I think that's
I think that's probably like 20 minutes.
There we go. That's the end of the podcast. Yeah, there you go. Nice
little snippet.
Snap. Exactly. There we go.
Cameras off.
Yeah, I say we kind of just like walk away from this in a